Guys, it's Brad, and I wanted to make a short video for you while I go to my new mission, my goal. And what I wanted to just talk to you about really quick, I just said, hey, I'm going to make this video because, this is very, very true for me in my life. And I found that everybody who is similar to me and anybody who actually achieves a level of success in any endeavor, they kind of all have this thing in common where pretty much you don't take days off. I mean, I don't understand. I really don't get the concept of taking a day off. I mean, a day off from what exactly? If you need a rest day from the gym to recover, maybe you don't lift weights, but instead you do some cardio, you do some active recovery. Or if, you're having a really hard time writing, what I would prefer you do instead of taking a day completely to do nothing, which is, time that you're never going to get back. I mean, time is the most valuable asset that we have. It's something you can never get back. You can always get money back. You can always, get better people in your life, but you can't get your time back. That's the one thing you can't get back. And the decisions that we make today are the decisions and the skill sets that are going to ultimately lead us in the direction of where we ultimately end up in life. So if you're going to take a day, I just don't get it, and I don't approve of it, honestly. I think the whole concept is just not good. I mean, basically, if you have goals, you should have a multitude of different goals. If you're past the age of 13 or whatever and you're watching this stuff, you have my full express approval to have goals and go after them, regardless of what your parents say, regardless of what anybody says. You should have a set of different goals that you're going after at all times, and you gun for them every single day, man. You work at them every single day to make progress on those goals. If you honestly, if you want to, for instance, be a good entrepreneur, it takes a long time, a lot of reading, a lot of trial and error, a lot of shit. If you want to have a good body, and you don't naturally have a lean physique or something like that, it's hard for you to put on muscle and stay lean. That's going to take discipline. That's going to take time of practicing and learning what your body needs and figuring out how to discipline yourself to get to the gym, etc., and find a good way of doing it. Everything takes a long time. There's no overnight success. So I really just don't believe in days off. I haven't done it in a long, long time. And I recommend for each and every one of you cut out those negative habits like doing video games or getting wasted or, getting super high on shit and not going after your goals. I mean, right now, perfect example, I feel like absolute shit. I'm super fucking I was out super late 2 nights in a row. I feel fucking terrible right now, but I'm still going after what I want to do tonight, even though it just feels like shit, honestly. Not to bitch, not to complain, but I'm willing to push through that in order to go for what I want. And honestly, anybody who's successful, they're going to do the same thing. And again, it's not about doing things perfectly. And not at all. Nobody does anything perfectly. It's about starting where you are right now and using what you have to go after your goals. So for instance, we all have a certain skill set. Maybe your strengths are, I don't know, say we're talking about in the world of business, you have skill sets in writing, you have skill sets in marketing, but you're not good at sales. Well, you still need sales, so you have to try to make sales using the skills that you have. Even though you don't necessarily know how to close deals like Grant Cardone or whatever, some master salesman, you still have to try. You still have to make the calls, you still have to try to write the copy, you still have to do all of those things if you want to be in business. If you want to make a website, let's say, just chip away at it every day. You're not going to build it all in one day. Honestly, the best thing you could do is just chip away at your goals every single day. Don't waste time, and time wasting activities are things that just don't move you towards your goals. And the challenging thing too is that certain activities are low value. So even if you're constantly working and you're moving and you're doing stuff, moving yourself towards your goals, the real challenge is that you know, most of those activities are not going to necessarily guarantee your results. They're low value. So like, you know, I can't even imagine just having a day to do nothing, but I can tell you this, even if you do a whole bunch of stuff, you know, most of those activities are not going to lead you closer to the result. You know, it takes the same amount of activity to do the thing that's going to make you $1 million as it does for you to make $100 or $1,000 online. If you're selling the wrong product, you're marketing it the wrong way, you could do, it's like walking east looking for a sunset, you know? If you're walking east looking for a sunset, you could walk all day and night and put in a lot of work, but you're still not going to get the result that you want. So again, you know, it's like, to take a day off is like fucking insane to me. And, you know, I just don't get people who do it, you know, frankly. So I would suggest to you guys to develop that. And we are different. Everybody's different. I'm the type of person who just, that comes pretty easy to me, to just like always stay moving and always keep, you know, pushing forward and like fighting and grinding. That's my nature. But I would suggest that you try to adopt that, you know. If you mix that type of thing where you're just grinding it out every fucking day, plus a good strategy, you know, that's really where everything kind of comes together. Strategy plus execution, you're gonna do just fine. But again, like video games, getting high, hanging out with, another huge drain on time is, you know, people like, here's something I'll tell you that's kind of controversial. Hanging out with people. Hanging out with people that aren't aligned with your goals, that just talk to you about fucking nonsense. I mean, dude, like, it is a waste of time, you know? It's cool to, like, you know, unwind with your friends for a little bit and laugh. That is important to release some stress and shit. But dude, like, you cannot, like, allow random interruptions from people during your day. If you do, you know, you're just letting people literally sap your time. You know, if I took every single phone call, like, from random people that didn't, you know, benefit my goals in some way, dude, it's a huge time suck. So, you know, you got to avoid those people too. It's kind of fucked, but like, dude, you really do. You know, you got to protect your time and make sure that you're spending it on the most high value activities. So for instance, if your goal is, most people, they don't even know what their goal is. Let's just say your goal is the same as mine, to make $100,000 a month. You know, what are you going to do to get that $100,000 a month? If that's your main goal, what are you going to do? You know, well, probably, you know, you like the best thing that you could do would be figure out, like, okay, how could I make that? You know, how can I leverage what I have right now to make that money in a sustainable way? And then you learn and read and everything like that. You know, you got to figure that shit out. You got to ask yourself those questions. And by the way, if you have that outcome in mind first, the activity that you're going to do is going to be way different than if you're just like blindly saying, I'm going to work on business. You know, it's like the same thing in the gym. Like, if you're in the gym and you're saying to yourself, oh, I want to get jacked, you know, that's not the same as saying I want to be 185 pounds at 12% body fat at my current height. You know, that's very specific. And in order to achieve that result, you have to have the diet in check. You have to plan it. You have to plan your workouts. You have to train a certain way, you know, versus just like haphazardly training. You know, if you are trying to be, you know, you're 5'8", you want to be 185 pounds at 12% body fat, and you're just like running all the time and eating carbs, you know, and no protein, like not a lot of real good protein, you're going to be very skinny. You know, you're not going to have any muscle. So you're not going to achieve your desired result, you know, just by filling the time with activity related to your supposed goal. So again, you know, it's not just about just doing random activity. It's about planning your outcome and then designing the activity based around what you want. So that's my little spiel for the evening. And like I said, even though I feel like absolute shit tonight, dude, like I feel like I got hit by a fucking car, still going after it, still, you know, fucking walk into this dude's house right now to go make this thing happen, and, you know, whatever it takes. Peace.